Mike, thanks for joining us. Give us an update on what this means for the future of the Raiders in Vegas.
Well, at this point, Dan, it's very vague. At a minimum, if this Las Vegas deal is going to go down, the Raiders need not just replacement money, and they expect to get it from Goldman Sachs. They need somebody involved in this project who has experience building and operating a stadium. So they need somebody either from Las Vegas with that expertise or somebody from elsewhere in the country. But they're not going to be able to do this without someone who knows how to build and run a stadium. That's where Sheldon Adelson's people were partially going to be valuable to this project. And now the question becomes, will the Raiders figure out how to get this done, or will Las Vegas morph into the new Los Angeles, where that $750 million commitment to a stadium is floating around as the leverage for every other team out there that needs a stadium over the next 10 to 15 to 20 years? And, hey, if you don't give us what we want, we're going to move to Las Vegas. I don't know that Las Vegas will allow itself to be used that way, but the NFL could be trying to set this up, at least moving forward for the next few years until they figure out what's going to happen with the Raiders if they can't pull this off, as the alternative, the or-else option, if teams can't get public money to build or renovate their current stadiums.
So what do you think the odds are that Vegas still ends up being the home for the Raiders?
I think it's taken a hit. The question is, how big of a hit is it taken, and how will the NFL finesse this? Could they delay it by a year or two? Will they kick the can 5 years? Mark Davis is going to have to find a viable replacement for Sheldon Adelson. And, there's going to be a bunch of blame that goes around on this, Dan. Adelson's people are going to blame the Raiders. The Raiders are going to blame Adelson. We had been told throughout the season, and we mentioned this on Football Night in America multiple times, that Adelson was driving a very hard bargain with the Raiders, and it all blew up. The question is, can the Raiders pull this off now with some other partner? Surely there's somebody out there who understands there's money to be made in this gigantic $2 billion stadium that would be a major hub for events in Las Vegas. The question is, can they find somebody, and how will this make the owners feel about pulling that trigger, yes, to allow the Raiders to move to Las Vegas? So I think it throws it into flux, and I think we just need to see how it shakes out over the next few weeks.
I didn't think anything would happen at media night. Did anything happen at media night?
No, nothing ever happens at media night. I mean, there'll be a soundbite that gets played the next day. There'll be a comment. There'll be a quote. But nobody said anything outlandish. Football players are just boring. They're robots. They never say anything that is going to be used against their team in any way. No one wants to stand out. No one wants to be the distraction. And I think so far both the Patriots and the Falcons have done a good job of minimizing that.
Thank you, Mike. And McLovin says thank you for coming on as well.
I almost sprinted over to your set just so I could see McLovin again. I'm sorry I couldn't make it in time.
You guys have formed quite a bond there, quite a friendship. So, but thank you, Mike, for joining.
We'll get together later.
Yeah.
We're going to hang out.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.